What is up, Shadowverse soldiers? Before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I am now doing webcam locals. We're going to be hosting it on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're in the Shadowverse community Discord, and everyone is welcome. So the link is in the description. I will hope to see you guys on Thursday. What is up, my Shadowverse soldiers, and welcome back to another Shadowverse Evolved video. So, last time we did Forestcraft, and now we are on Heavencraft. So, Heavencraft, we know, playing amulets and whatnot, playing big boss monsters and controlling the board. And, them getting even more cards scares me a little because, Heavencraft has so much removal and has so much control. So, if they get any more crazy big boss monsters, I'm going to be a little afraid. I don't want Heavencraft to be like crazy power crept. It can still top decks. It can even get first place if it wants to. But, this is a deck to really look out for, and I'm praying that Uma does not skyrocket this craft any crazier. Alright, and the first card we have is Beyond Her Rear. So when she's played, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may put any number of them on the top of your deck, and the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. And you can activate for 2 play points to engage this card and put this card into your cemetery, and you draw a card. So this feels like a very cheap Sacred Plea, but it also is pretty good because you can, function your deck how you want it. You can look at the top 3, be like, hey, I don't need these cards now. If I'm going for the Enstatued Seraph route, I'm not going to draw my big boss monster in like my first turn. So let me go ahead and put that to the bottom of my deck. This is just like a thesis of what I think of what the plays could be. But, in the grand terms of like control, you really want to draw the cards that you need to see in like a matchup. Like, hey, executions like here in the top 3. I'll put it here, draw it and have it. That'll be good. And then, I'll put the rest of these other cards at the bottom, or, just know what I'm going to be drawing. And for that next turn, you'll have something to draw into. So, you're not sitting there spending 2 on nothing. But in reality, you want to play Prison Priestess. But, every game's not perfect. Alright, next up we have Gold Chip. So you feed her once, and then she'll start racing. And then when she's played, you reveal the top card of your deck and deal X damage to each enemy leader and give your leader plus X defense. X equals the cost of the revealed card. Activate for 10 play points. You can give this follower plus 10/+10. Alright, so, an 8-drop, something that is very scary in Haven because, they're going to get to 8 because they're going to be removing everything. So let's figure out what this card can do. So it gives your leader plus X defense. So if you, mill anything crazy, reveal anything crazy, you're getting that much health, which is scary. And then on top of that, if this is free, from Enstatued Seraph, because, it can get any card. So, you play this for free and then reveal, and then you can get some free life, honestly. So, I don't think there's anything 0, unless you reveal Hair Revolutions, then you feel really bad. But any other card that Haven has, they're going to be at least healing 1, and Haven healing is bad for you. And then you have a big body that sits on the field, and then if you don't deal with this body, then it's going to be an 18/18, and it's probably swinging for lethal next turn. Next up, we have Yukuno Dictus. So you feed her once, and then she'll begin racing. She has Ward, and then you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may reveal an amulet or a Usemoni card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is a pretty good card, taking the fact that she's a 3-drop with Ward, so that's nice. Also, the fact that it can stay in the archetype of looking for, the Usemoni cards, so whatever archetype I'm going for. And then also with the fact of, you don't just have to run her in the archetype, you can run her outside of it, because you can search for an amulet too. So it looks like Heavencraft is going to be having more of an RNG based search, besides, like Swordcraft, that just, hey, I'm playing this follower is going to search me the follower I want to see, or whatever, I need in my deck, I'm going to search it and put it into my hand, while Heavencraft is kind of more RNG, hey, I ran into the amulet or lose so many follower I put in my deck, and, if it's the situation that I can play it in, yeah, it works, but, I'm still going to be in control, and that's what Heavencraft does best. Alright, and we have Inari 1, so you feed her once and this follower begins racing, and then when she's played, you discard an amulet and give this follower +2 in rush. So this feels like this is the aggro controller, so if your followers are going to get out of place, or, you're going to have a ward that's pretty big, that's, not bigger than 4, of course, but, she's going to handle it. I'll make sure she handles it, and that's good, to be a 2-drop. I feel like this is a very valued card. Now, it being practical, I'm not sure. I feel like this is definitely the answer to aggro in terms of, Heavencraft, besides, like Angelic Snipe and all that other stuff, the Blackened Sanctuary. But this is also a card too that can absolutely do the damn thing, and I like that. Alright, and next up we have Maisho Doto. So, you feed her once and then she'll begin racing. And when this follower begins racing, give it +1/+1, then search your deck for an amulet that originally costs 1 play point and put it onto your field. Alright, so this is a doozy card, so this is pretty good. Alright, so you're going to play a 3-drop, and then, you race her, and then she gets +1/+1, and then you can search your deck for, the 3 1-drop Heavencraft amulets that we have in the game as of right now, that being Sacred Plea, Guardian Sun, and then Beyond Arrear that we saw earlier. So, all these cards, do some good effects. I feel like people are probably, if they're going to be playing this, they're either going to be getting Beyond Arrear or more of like Sacred Plea, so you can, draw some cards. I feel like this is pretty flexible, especially if we keep getting more 1-drop amulets, keep a lookout on this card. Alright, and we have Meijiro Ardon. So you feed her once and then she'll begin racing. She has Ward, and at the start of your main phase, if there are no other Meijiro family followers on your field with a different name than this card, return this card to the hand. So this card is never going to attack unless you can find some way to give it Storm. But, a 1-drop 3/3 Ward, this is definitely, it's not going to 100%, control it, but this is definitely going to put aggro in a box. Because, their 1-drop is going to be either in the form of a goblin or, a form of a 2/2. I don't know any 1-drop that, sits at 3 besides this card now. So this is going to be your aggro controller. And I like that for Haven because Haven needed more, control in followers, of course. But this card helps Haven do what it does. And that's what I love about it so much. Next up, we have Meijiro Dober. So, feed her once and then she'll begin racing. When this follower begins racing, give it +1/+1, then give your leader +2 defense. So, to all my Alana prayer people out there, we've got some more support for it. So, the fact that it gives you +2 defense, you pay 2. This feels like a Frog Cleric, but, with extra steps. Frog Cleric with extra steps. So, I'm not sure if Alana's prayer is going to be good. I don't think it's good right now, but I don't think this is going to save it. I don't know. But, her turning into a 3/3 and then giving your leader +2 defense is pretty nice, especially on 2. And then, if you're running Evo turn, that's even better. But, getting your life up as Haven is always the best thing to do, especially if you're at a, really comfortable spot and you have a lot of cards in your hand and you need to just dump something that can help you. This is the card to go for. Alright, next up we have Meijiro McQueen. So you feed her once and then she'll begin racing. She also evolves for 1, and then she has Ward, and then when she's played, you put an amulet onto your field into the cemetery, and then you select enemy leader or enemy follower on the field and deal it 3 damage. Alright, so Haven now just unlocked the ability to burn your leader. So, Haven's always going to have the removal. Just go ahead and expect that your followers being played is probably going to get removed in any shape or form, because that's what Heavencraft does, is control your board. But now, if they've cleared your board, the theme is decreed, and then you can't recover, they're going to burn you for 3 through this card off of, whatever amulet they have on the field that's not doing them any good. Like maybe like a death sentence, and you're at like 13. So, I'm going to burn you for 3, and then, proceed to go for the kill afterwards. Alright, and we have Meijiro McQueen Evolve. So she still has Ward, and then on Evolve, you select the amulet in your cemetery, and you may put it into your hand. So, the amulet that I just got rid of, I'm going to put that back into my hand after I put it into the cemetery. But here's the catch. I can put any amulet that I want back into my hand. So, any cards that I need to draw, or, something to give something else Ward. Like recurring a Guardian Sun actually wouldn't be that bad, especially if you can get like a double Heavenly Aegis. It's not bad. So, playing a Guardian Sun, giving something Ward, being defensive that turn, and then, also, I feel like, I think Guardian Sun's actually a pretty good combo, because, this has Ward, and then you can give something else Ward, have that defense, if they don't target this, then you evolve this and you get the Guardian Sun back and you can do it all over again. So that feels pretty good. So this, I think Major McQueen also with John Dark is going to be pretty nutty, and I'm going to enjoy using that combo when I get all my hands on this pretty derby stuff. Alright, and we have Meijiro Palmer. So you feed her once and then she'll begin racing, and then when she comes into play, you search your deck for a Meijiro family follower and put it into your hand. And then she also, when she comes into play, if Dance Claymore Festival is in your cemetery, you give this follower +1/+1 in Rush. So the Meijiro McQueen that we looked at, if we put Dance Claymore Festival into our cemetery off of her effect, you can give this follower +1/+1 and Rush. So a 4-drop 5/5 with Rush to definitely deal with somebody's ward, or definitely to deal with somebody's body that's definitely bothering us. More removal for Haven. You know, we love it. And you know what we say about the number 5 in Shadowverse. That is the key number right there. If something does 5 damage, go ahead and get that follower out of here. Alrighty, and next we have Meijiro Ryan. So you feed her once and then she'll begin racing. And whenever a Meijiro family follower or amulet leaves your field, give this follower Storm. Alright, so it looks like we have some good targets for engaging these amulets and, you know, putting them into the cemetery. So turn 1, I'm going to play Sacred Plea. Turn 2, I'm going to play Meijiro Ryan. And then I'm going to engage Sacred Plea because, you know, I might not want to draw 2 in this matchup. And then, you know, I'm going to draw my card and put it into the cemetery. She has Storm, I'm swinging for 3, and I know that next turn you're either dealing with Meijiro here or you're dealing with me, and I'm pretty sure you're going to want to swing at Meijiro or focus on Meijiro because you don't want, you know, 6 total damage coming at you, and that's, you know, that's pretty good in terms for Heavencraft. So putting some damage on the board is new, and I like that for Heavencraft. Alright, and next up we have Road of Fortune. So when it comes into play, select the enemy follower on the field and destroy it, and then you can activate to engage this card and put this card into your cemetery. And then you look at the top card of your deck and you remember, reveal a card that costs 7 from among them and put it into your hand. Alright, so Haven has a pretty good combo here. So this is reminding me of Tribunal of Evil and Good. But this card is going to be a little combo-y. So the first card that we looked at with that 1-drop amulet, so I'm going to play Road of Fortune, and then, you know, destroy something, sit on it, and then if I have the play points, I'm going to play that 1-drop amulet that looks at the top, you know, 3 cards of my deck. I'm going to put whatever cards I need, so I'm going to then engage for Road of Fortune to draw a card, and then I'm going to, if I have the play points, I'm going to use that extra 2 play points to, you know, draw that second card. You know, in a perfect world, it's all going to be done in the same turn. But, you know, on those refresh turns, you know, that's pretty good to control my draws and what I can do. So Heavencraft is going to be drawing the cards that they need to. They're going to be putting the cards they don't need at the bottom of the deck. So they're going to be, you know, drawing cards that they need. And it looks, if you're going to be wondering in matches if Heavencraft has it, if they're doing the combo like this, or how I can see it, then, you know, they're going to have the answer 9 times out of 10. And they're going to be revealing it to you, so you just have to keep a mental note of what Haven has in their hand, and you have to force them to use it. And then we have TM Opera O. So you feed her once, and then she'll begin racing, and then when she's played, you select the enemy follower on the field, banish it, and draw a card. So for 7, this is kind of weird, but I feel like for 7, you definitely do get the banish effect, which is pretty good in terms of like, hey, you know, my opponent played Leonidas, but I don't have another follower for him to, you know, kill his Leonidas so he can get the resolve. Well, you know, this next turn, you know, Leonidas goes on 6, so this next turn I'm going to banish him. He doesn't get his last words, and you don't get your amulet, and I'm drawing a card to replace the card I just played, and, you know, it stalled your turn because, you know, usually if you're this deep into Swordcraft, you know, their board should be already cleared, so the one card they should be focusing on is that Leonidas turn, and you just have to keep controlling the board after that. Well, alright guys, this was the last card. I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for the next one. You guys make sure you're safe in whatever you do tonight, and safe whatever you do for the rest of the year. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
I gave you all my love, baby, my heart is cold when you're around. You warm it up, liquid gold, baby, yeah, you warm it up, liquid gold, baby, and my affection, all that paper you wasted. Take my love.